Consecrated Poverty, Part 1. Our Holy Father is the first Pope to be called Francis. He said that he admired Francis of Assisi, the poor man. And he added, "How I wish for a church that is poor and for the poor." In these words of his, he gave us an excellent synthesis of the biblical and religious meaning of poverty. Being poor and being for the poor. Why did Jesus embrace poverty? Firstly, because he embraced his Father's plan of bringing about the salvation of mankind through poverty, humility, and suffering. God's power shines best through our human weakness. Secondly, because poverty gives us freedom, a detachment from the things of this world, money, power, and so on. By leaving everything, the apostles were totally free for Jesus and his mission. So we do not embrace poverty in order to work for the poor. That would be social work. No, our real reason for choosing poverty is to become images of Jesus, the Good Samaritan, and convey his love and care for poor humanity through us. Our poverty also serves to educate the young. We must not turn money, power, possessions into absolutes in our lives. True happiness is not found in what we have, but in what we are. A simple life can be very happy and fulfilling. There is great joy and fulfillment in sharing with others. Living our poverty meaningfully today. First, hard work. A typical way in which we Salesians live our poverty is by working hard. Our very motto is work and temperance. Don Bosco used to repeat to his Salesians, work, work, work. Do not get tired of working. Second, a simple life. We must be grateful for all the necessary things we have: food, clothing, shelter, and the instruments needed for our work. For example, books, a computer, a phone, even if they are not the best or the most efficient. We do not seek comforts or the latest gadgets, nor do we complain about some inconvenience. We are willing to share what we have with others. Second, we also take good use of things and use them well for our apostolic ministry. Remember well, Don Bosco tells us, what we have is not ours. It belongs to the poor. Woe to us if we do not use it well. We seek to do with less and even without whenever possible. We are happy to be poor because we love poverty. Joy is the true test of poverty. Third, loving the poor and reaching out to them. Jesus said that the poor are always with us. The question we need to ask today is, are we with the poor? It is possible that over time we have developed an institution-centered mentality that makes us keep our distance from the poor. Pope Francis has been repeatedly calling religious to go out to the peripheries and to interact with the poor, to break down the distance between them and ourselves. A few years ago, he established the World Day for the Poor and explained its meaning. We need to touch with our own hands the flesh of Christ in the poor. We must draw nearer to the poor, meet them, look into their eyes, embrace them, and let them feel the warmth of our love. Let them be honored guests at our table. At the conclusion of the 27th General Chapter, the Rector Major spoke about where we ought to direct our choices. We have to move, he said, from a ministry of preservation to an outgoing ministry that starts with the deepest needs of the poorest young people. Concretely speaking, this calls us, right in the places where we are already working, to look around our neighborhood and see if there are even poorer youth who desperately need our care. If so, can we find a way of reaching out to them? Let us remind ourselves that there is no holiness without a deep love for the poor. The saints were very, very sensitive to the poor because they saw Jesus in them. For them, it was the same Jesus who identified himself every day with the bread of the Eucharist, this is my body, and with the poor, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, you do it to me. Points for reflection and sharing. St. Clare couldn't help declaring, I love poverty because Jesus loved it. Do we too love poverty and find happiness in living a simple life? Does our formation to poverty lead us to a love and appreciation of our vow of poverty? What more can we do to reach out to the poor young people of our neighborhood?